happy Friday, everybody. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. Got some big updates on you, what's going on in the tropics, plus pattern coming into the lower 48 for the United States. We have more storms coming in. Matter of fact, our next storm is what's going to help some of these tropical waves pull to the north. I'm still showing that true. Also for Invest 95L. Right now is at 14 miles per hour motion, moving west, 34 miles per hour winds. It is going to be a tropical depression, a tropical storm within the next 24 hours, I do believe, and still showing true that it's still going to be a potential hurricane as it goes by the Lesser Antilles. Also posing a big threat for Jamaica, showing around the time frame it is expected for Invest 95L to be Hurricane Beryl going through the Caribbean, maybe even a major hurricane around the time between a Cat 1 and a Cat 3, pulling right underneath or right on side of Jamaica. So Jamaica really needs to pay attention to this wave. You can see that it is pulling right towards you as you're going right past 5 days, and it's going further into the Western Caribbean and starting to see that curve coming in. I'm going to show you why in a second. But look what's all coming off the coast of Africa right now. We have a huge wave coming off. Now, we do still have some dry air, some dust that's in there, and this is only on the northern side, and this wave is still on the southern side. So the northern half might lose a lot of its precipitation, but this storm is still going to grow on the southern side and follow the same path. You do see the new area of Invest, this yellow one right on top of the red one. This is a second wave right behind Invest 95L. That will be 96L. Still showing that it could strengthen up towards the Lesser Antilles, also right behind the first one that y'all going to get. And still showing that it could also come right back as we get a storm system coming in, bringing in a trough, pulling this right towards the southeast of the United States into the Gulf of Mexico, and showing more than just one system this is going to happen, and showing by the Euro control member that that wave is eventually probably going to pop up over here by Cuba or the Bahamas and start strengthening up. Also have some new information on what's going on for our hurricane season. We have a new potential velocity anomaly to look at, and it's not good. Plus, we still have Invest 94L right here. It is at 29 miles per hour winds, moving northwest at 11 miles per hour, and it's still showing that it could strengthen up to maybe a strong depression, a weak tropical storm right before it goes towards Mexico. At this point, it really don't matter. Maybe a little bit higher winds might come. You're still going to get a lot of flooding, pretty much like what you got on the last one. So please prepare for that. I do remember that there was a few lives lost. God bless you all over there. Please prepare for potential flooding coming with that one. Now, we'll go through our severe weather as well, and I will do an update this afternoon on the tropics, what's going on with these waves. So if you want to see that update, make sure you click the bell and select all. That way you will be notified. It is right next to the subscribe button. Now, when you look at vorticity at 500 millibar level, you can see everything you need to see about our weather pattern. So as we keep going forward, you see we do get them storms coming through for today, while Invest 94L pushes over the Yucatan into Bay of Campeche, into Mexico. Then we're going to get another storm system coming right through as we go through Sunday and Monday. Remember, we have severe weather for that, while we get Invest 95L Beryl pushing through the Southern Antilles at this time. This is by the Euro. Now, as you keep going, you can see you have this big high pressure revolving around. You have this big upper level high just sitting there, revolving everything around that to the west. And when you get this cold front coming in, you get a front induced low. But according to the Euro, it don't come in deep enough and create a break to where this could form potentially to the north. But the second wave that comes behind it, trending that it could strengthen up a little bit as it goes towards the Lesser Antilles, but then weaken down. But you can also see that it comes down around that time, and the cold front, that front that comes in, pulls that second wave to the north a little bit. And that is what GFS and the Canadian also is seeing. Why you might get something tropical out here around this time. It might pick up characteristics of a tropical system. See how it's a cutoff low at that point. But we also have that next storm system that's coming through after the one for Monday, and that's when a transition is going to happen. That's when we're going to start getting this trough coming through, while you get this big high ridge on the west side of the lower 48. This is going to bring heat as well, but this is going to bring storms in this direction. Also, when this comes down, it will pull up to the north any tropical waves that is passing through. There is not going to be a high pressure blocking it at that time. Now, this is literally the latest of the run and right at the end of it. according to the Euro. So I'm going to show you other weather models as well. Also, I got some data for you. But look at this. This is the control member of the ensembles of the Euro, showing that Invest 95L Beryl will go right past Jamaica, showing southern Jamaica, which is not good. Once again, I'll put all the winds, all the banding on you. And then that goes to the west because you got this high pressure as it transitions. You got that storm system coming off the front in the Atlantic, and it does become a cutoff low right there. Maybe starts becoming tropical in activity. But then these waves, that big wave that's coming off Africa now, remember I showed you yesterday how long it takes to come in, showing by the control member that when that storm system starts coming in and we get that trough, that it will pull them waves to the north. So we do got to watch for those waves as well. This is later down the road pattern. This is changing. If you remember when I showed you about the July weather pattern video, about a week or so ago, that after our heat dome moves from the southeast, it's going to move to the southwest. This is that transition, and we have tropical waves at that time. So when you look by the GFS, so as we look at what happens, that front comes in, brings that front from that cutoff low from that storm system going into the Atlantic, pulls Invest 95L Beryl further to the north. Then this transitions to the southwest with this ridging, and we get that next storm system coming in, bringing that trough, and that trough is what helps pull these storms further to the north. It's all about timing. You can see this with the Canadian as well. As you get in that storm system in the Atlantic, you get that front pulling this a little further to the north. Then the high pressure expands, and that's why it goes towards Jamaica. Then it turns west, right below Jamaica. This would not be good. While the Southern Antilles is getting hit by Invest 96L, that second wave coming through. But then we get the high pressure changing, going towards the southwest with the ridging. The trough comes in, and Invest 95L Beryl could go into the Eastern Pacific at this time, getting pulled by the high pressure, being too late for this trough. But Invest 96L could see that trough coming in with that storm system, and it could pull it straight north. This trough will pull this to the north. Now, quick update. I'm still showing the best chance for tropical cyclones to form is going to be over the Lesser Antilles, unfortunately. As it goes, look right here, right underneath Jamaica. Jamaica, you need to pay attention to this next one or two waves because it's posing a big threat for you. Showing Invest 95L will take that little curve and go out like in this direction, but 96L will take that curve to the north. You can see this when you look at it. Matter of fact, when you look just for a chance for a tropical storm, you can still see that path possible on the second wave, not Invest 95L. Latest update with National Hurricane Center, Invest 94L is at 30% chance. It's going to run out of time pretty much, but I still think it's going to bring a lot of flooding no matter what it's going to be, whether it's a tropical depression or a weak tropical storm. You have Invest 95L, which will be Beryl. It is at 90% in the next 48 hours, and you are expecting a tropical depression or tropical storm will likely form later today or for tomorrow. So it's already going to be a tropical storm, and it's still days away from the Lesser Antilles. You are going to be dealing with a hurricane. Please prepare for this. Anybody tells you less, they're going to be wrong. You have some big issues coming your way. It is trending. It's been trending this way for a couple of days. Now, the next one is going to be Invest 96L. The next wave right behind it, 20% chance in the next 7 days. This is the one that might strengthen up. There's a chance of it. There's a chance for it to weaken down. It depends if it's going to be behind Invest 95L. If it is, Invest 95L will more likely eat up a lot of the warm temperatures, probably stabilize the atmosphere a little bit, and this will be weaker and be an issue later as we start getting that troughing, pulling these waves to the north. Showing for Invest 94L, the automatic tropical cyclone forecast. Showing literally by the time you go into Sunday, it could be a tropical depression, could be a tropical storm. It's at a 50-50. Either way is bringing flooding. Please prepare for flooding. But I do have this link in the description for you so you can zoom in according to GFS, according to Euro, what your rainfall rates are, and you can zoom all the way into your area and see how much you could potentially get. You also have the winds available too. When we check for Invest 95L, it did show a wide ray and going all the way potentially towards a Cat 4. But we do have an update. Now, the latest update has taken away the chances for a Cat 4, but you can see it is showing a wide ray, showing anywheres as you go towards 4, towards 5 days. It could be anywhere from a tropical storm all the way to a major hurricane. Now, right when this area happens, shortly after is when it's going to be passing by Jamaica. showing no matter what, Jamaica has a Cat 1 towards a Cat 2 or stronger hurricane coming right by you. This could be bad. It could be a little bit away where it could just miss you. Hopefully that's the issue. We will see. But again, you can see in 48 hours to 72 hours, the Lesser Antilles will be dealing with either a strong tropical storm, more than likely a strengthening hurricane. Might be a strong tropical storm. Then a couple hours later, as it gets a little bit closer, it's going to become a hurricane right before landfall, which is not going to be good. It's going to bring a lot of wind and a lot of rain. So you can see here in the latest information on the tracks, by the time you go towards the Lesser Antilles, literally right past 3 days, it's going to be strengthening into that hurricane, bringing you impacts. Then as you go towards 5 days, almost 6 days, right when it's passing Dominican Republic, it will be going towards Jamaica in between 5 and in 6 days away. It will be passing right by you. Still a strong hurricane. Please be aware of that. You need to keep your eyes on that. More areas are starting to focus that it will be a northern track over Jamaica and not a southern track. That is not good. So far, 7 days. I know it's still 7 days. This will change, but it's still showing 7 days potentially being the Western Caribbean by the Cayman Islands, affecting Cuba as well, and either going west or going north. It depends on that high pressure and that trough of that storm coming in that's going to pull it north. I want to show you a couple other ones. This one is the automatic tropical cyclone forecast. When you look at the Canadian is showing deterministic, what's in the latest model run. The average, you've seen that it will more likely go to the Western Caribbean right here by Belize and go into the Bay of Campeche. That's what we're seeing so far with the Euro. This is on Invest 95L. That northern track that is showing possibility, that's what Invest 96L potentially could do. It's just showing this all at one time because there's multiple tracks that's going to be happening at the same time. And when you go by the Euro, you can see literally as Invest 95L, after it goes over to Yucatan, it could potentially turn north. Get that troughing, get that high pressure block over there, and it could turn to the north in the Gulf. So we do need to watch these waves. It's not set in stone that after it does all this potential damage to people, that it's going to go into the Eastern Pacific. There's a chance it could be more coming in. Look how it's showing more chances of it turning, just like those previous hurricanes I showed you yesterday. And the GFS on Invest 95L, giving more of a confidence that it's going to go somewhere towards that Gulf. This is starting to become a concern of a potential area where they could be seeing possible growth come out of these storm cells. So latest information on Hurricane Analysis Forecast System B shows in 72 hours it could become potentially a hurricane already. When you look at A, it shows in 72 hours it'd probably be a strong tropical storm about to be a hurricane. That would be a little more believable. Still, let's take a look at both. B shows it could strengthen up to a major hurricane as it goes towards the Lesser Antilles. Now, when we look at A, it's a little more reasonable, showing it will become that hurricane as it goes towards 3 days. And as it hits the Southern Antilles, maybe start becoming a stronger hurricane while we start getting a hurricane on the second one, and the second one weakens down. That's been the trend, that it will strengthen up, it will weaken down, it will strengthen up. Also showing that as it goes towards the Lesser Antilles, it will start going towards warmer waters. But at the same time, look right behind it. It eats up a lot of the temperatures. So when that second wave goes towards it, it has to go further to the south to get any kind of heat to grow, because it is already getting eaten by this first wave. Also showing wind shear will be less on this wave as it goes towards the Lesser Antilles. It will keep strengthening up. Showing the dry air will not affect this wave. It has a lot of moisture around it. It will just keep bulldozing through. But dropping a lot of heavy rainfall with this, bring a lot of winds, a lot of high waves, and it will be a lot of flooding. Showing so far, link in the description also as you go by for Monday, potentially bringing 20 to 25 foot waves right by the southern islands. Also, your rainfall amount, remember you do have the Euro, you also got a GFS, you also got an icon to see what the average is. So you can see zooming in, see what your potential rainfall could be from Invest 95L and the next one as well. And of course the winds. Just take a note, GFS takes it a little bit lighter. You have 70 miles per hour winds. Euro is taking it very heavy on the winds. It's finally starting to wake up to a potential hurricane coming your way, bringing over 100 miles per hour winds, maybe even 110. This is wind gusts. So please get ready for this. Showing just in 5 days. It's a little all over the place. This is with the icon, the GFS, and the Euro. So it's still not accurate enough. Just be aware. But these links are all in the description for you so you can zoom in and best prepare for this. Latest update on potential velocity anomaly, favorable environment, unfavorable environment. You can see where we're standing with Invest 95L. Not showing a lot of strength with that, even though we do see strength with it. You can see what it looks like on here. Showing by the euro that as we go by the 10th and 11th, particularly could be having a issue. This is that big wave that's coming off the coast of Africa right now. Plus, the latest update on the long range, not only do you see Invest 95L dealing with a lot of unfavorable environment, a lot of sinking air as we go by the 11th, showing not only that piece, could be another piece a little bit eastern in the Caribbean as that wave comes off. Then maybe a little bit more sinking air, but not much. Not seeing that break, guys. Maybe a few days at a time. That's it. It's showing more activity, especially as we go towards the middle of July. Look how this is strengthening up. This went from August all the way towards the middle and end of July. So this is raising up even sooner. Now we'll do an update this afternoon. So far for the severe weather, you see as we go into this afternoon, we get some strong storms. Matter of fact, you got to watch over here by Iowa and northern Missouri. We get some strong storms that brew up as we go through the evening. Could get a chance for a tornado or a supercell to pop out of those as it goes all night long, as it goes across Wisconsin also, bringing some chances of some winds coming with those storms. Then it goes in from Michigan as you go for tonight, Ohio Valley to Great Lakes. Then for tomorrow, it's going to spark right back up in a few different areas, but this is where your tornado chance is going to grow for the intercoastal northeast, also for Ohio for tomorrow morning. Then tomorrow afternoon, it sparks up again, Ohio, Pennsylvania, even some of West Virginia, as that goes through the evening, bringing you chances for tornadoes. So for today, you do have chances for tornadoes. You have a 2%. You also have a 5%. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for that. You also have the wind threat for today, even potential hurricane force winds, significant severe in the black area. That's a white line on top. Here's your cities and states at risk for the damaging winds for today. Also the hail threat for today, even large hail, at least 2 inches in diameter. Also the white line on top. Here's your cities and states at risk for today. National Weather Service has large hail, damage and wind, and a few tornadoes will be possible from parts of the Central Plains into parts of the Middle and Upper Mississippi Valley today and tonight. Showing the storms coming through, and then we have more storms coming later, bringing chances for 40, but 50 and 60 miles per hour wind gusts potentially available over here for Kansas and southern Nebraska. This will move around a little bit. I'm showing that's where your high winds are. This is where the storm system came through from Montana. You already reach these winds, and over here from Minnesota. You can see this is going on for this morning before this even comes out. This is a winds potentially passing through for later. It might get 40 to 50 going by the lake also. But look over here for tomorrow as you go through Saturday. Those storms could bring some high winds. Those storms coming from Missouri, going through southern Illinois, Tennessee, Kentucky. Bring some high winds potentially with those also. So for tomorrow, just like I showed you yesterday, it was going to raise up your chance for tornadoes, and it did. You have a 2% and you have a 5%. Here's your cities and states at risk. You also have the wind threat for tomorrow, the wind and the hail. The wind is going to be your biggest threat. So here's your cities and states at risk for the wind threat for Saturday, for tomorrow. And here's your cities and states at risk for the hail threat for Saturday. National Weather Service has scattered damaging winds, and a couple tornadoes are possible on Saturday from parts of Ohio into northern West Virginia, central and western Pennsylvania, and western New York. And we're not done. As we go through Sunday, it's going to go out through the northeast, and we're going to get that next storm system coming through. So we also have severe weather. So here's your cities and states at risk for Sunday for severe weather. And this could be chances for tornadoes again for the northeast. So far, National Weather Service has scattered damaging winds are possible across parts of the mid-Atlantic and northeast on Sunday. Hail and severe gusts will also be possible from eastern Montana into western North Dakota. And that storm system is going to grow into Monday. You see it has grown a little bit more. We have a 15% chance for severe weather for Monday for that next storm system. So far, here's your cities and states at risk. And after this storm system is the one storm system that's going to come down and possibly pull these tropical waves into the Gulf while you get that big ridging on the west coast. Thank you for your time, everybody. I hope this update helps you understand what is coming around the corner. I will do an afternoon update on the tropics. That way we know what is actually starting to build. If this pattern continues, it is going to be Not good. It's going to be very worrisome for the United States for the lower 48. So I will keep everyone updated. Now, before you go today, Psalm 145, 1 through 6. I will extol thee, my God, O King, and I will bless thy name forever and ever. Every day will I bless thee, and I will praise thy name forever and ever. Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised, and his greatness is unsearchable. One generation shall praise thy works to another, and shall declare thy mighty acts. I will speak of the glorious honor of thy majesty, and of thy wondrous works. And men shall speak of the might of thy terrible acts, and I will declare thy greatness. Amen. Have a great day, everyone. I hope everyone in the Caribbean is paying very close attention to these waves. Please share this information to others out there. Let them see all the information that's going on out there. Thank you so much for your help. Remember, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope he keeps you safe every single day of your life and forever. And your neighbors and your friends and your enemies. Everyone that you know. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. Prepare if you're in these impacts.